Well, obviously, I'm very proud of both of these guys, Mandel, Thomas. You know, we came in, and I knew how good Manhattan was. I talked to my assistants after I watched all their games, and I said they reminded me a lot of our good teams we coached when we were at Hofstra in the mid-2005, 6, 7, because they're veterans, they're tough, they've been through the wars, and you know, we were able to contain them tonight, and these guys really competed for 40 minutes, including Mandel Thomas getting 10 rebounds. And I told both Branden, Jon, and Mandel, we need 60 a night from you three guys. That's the only way we can win with Brian Smith down, and we're a little light, so our bench isn't as deep as it was. I thought we got great minutes from Chris Whitehead early. I think we did a good job in the zones. We played multiple defenses, and the guys did a good job competing in those. And, they really did a great job in the offensive glass in the first half, and that's what kept them in the game. We couldn't make free throws; they were banging us on the boards. I mean, they end up shooting. They have 71 field goal attempts. We only have 58, I believe, and we still find a way to win the game. So shooting from beyond the stripe and competing. And I thought we really competed in the second half. We did a good job on the offensive glass too.
One of the biggest issues with young teams always is kind of closing out games or letting leads slip. I mean, how much does it say about the team, especially fifth game of the season, going forward for what these guys can do?
No, we talk a lot about in-the-game situations. We do time and score in practice. And, when you put the advantage of playing 3 guards over the years, now 4 guards, is that at the end of games you're usually in pretty good shape because people can't pressure you. You got good ball handlers on the floor. You can spread the floor and not turn the ball over and if you can, handle the ball. So I think that helped us a great deal at the end there. I was kidding with Branden. I said it took him 2 times to finally free himself after the one went out of bounds there. But those were big plays, and we were able to close out the game and make those free throws. We missed a couple down the stretch there. And I was watching the game, and I said, win or lose, this is a hell of a college basketball game. It was a really good, fun game to coach, and to watch the guys go out and compete in 2 different kind of styles. And Beeman's becoming a heck of a player. He had a rough night. He has 24 and 11. He's a good one, as these guys are. I can't say enough about my senior and my freshman year.
How'd you game plan against Beeman tonight?
Well, you got to know where he is all the time on the floor. You got to be aware of the fact. I coached a kid, Lawrence Stokes, who was a lot like him. Everyone in the gym knew he was driving the ball right, and he drove it right, and he still scored. And then when you really got into him, he would step back and make a mid-range jumper, wide open 3. Not the perfect form, but it goes down all the time. So he's a focal point of everything we do. And then they have another couple of guys who are really, Andahar, is a good stretch four-man. Alvarado beat us last year in the last minute of the game, coming off ball screens and just, toughen his way to the rim. So they have great balance. Brown is a force, is a senior in the middle. That's a good basketball team, guys. If they win the MAC and they go to the tournament, they're the kind of team that will beat somebody in the tournament because of their experience and their balance.
Tom, how concerned were you going in with Brown, Andahar, and even Pankey with the mismatch up front?
Yeah, well, you're giving up something to get something. What I was worried about was depth. If we got into real deep foul trouble and we had to go deep into the bench, we were going to have a hard time tonight. But, Mandel, once again, he should be sitting here too. He's playing with the flu. He was sick on Saturday, and he's still struggling, but he went and got 10 rebounds, and he's up there chasing rebounds with the big boys. But, that's always going to be a concern for us, but then we have to try to drag those people away from the basket, and they have to guard us on the other end too. So it kind of gives us good spacing offensively by playing Mandel at the 4.
When Jon picks up the second foul real early in the first half, is there any thought whatsoever about pulling him for a couple of minutes?
Not a second. I just said, don't foul anybody. And the way he guards, it's not going to happen a whole lot anyway. But, no, I mean, there's really no choice to it. You could lose games in the first 5 minutes too. So I just figured, hey, we're going to run with it, and it worked out.
Jon, can you talk about the start of the second half? You were struggling a little bit there. What do you do? Did you just try to stay in the flow? Were you trying to get shots for yourself? What were you doing to try to just break out of that little mini slump during that?
No, I was just I was tired a little bit, so I just tried to fight through it and just say we got to break next few days and just kind of fight through it.
Tom, is there any concern, obviously, because such a small rotation and you got these 3 guys playing over 37 minutes a game? I guess over the course of the season?
Yeah, but I mean, we'll get Brian Smith back. I think Brian will be back next week, so that'll be good. And some of the younger guys are gonna develop, and you know, we're still waiting on, as crazy as it sounds, you know, Manny Suarez and Antoine Anderson, who are both gonna be a big part of our bench rotation. And we're still in the appeal process with the NCAA with them. So, hey, you know, it's opportunities for people. And I watched a lot of teams over my youth at St. John's and in South Carolina when Coach McGuire was there, and Coach Gonzaga played 6, 7 guys every night. So it can be done. My concern at the end was the veterans that were on the floor. You know, a Bronx guy taught me a long time ago, Bobby Crimmins always said, seniors are worth 3 points, juniors are worth 2, sophomores are worth 1, and freshmen are worth 0. And he said, at the end of the game, you add up how many points they have on the floor in a close game and how many points you have on the floor, and you're going to tell you who's going to win. Well, that formula went out the window tonight because we got a special freshman and we have a senior who made the plays we needed to make late in the game.
Brandon, it seemed like in the first half you were content to distribute the ball and get, you know, Mandel and John involved, but then in the second half you really took over driving, getting the rim. What changed, or how do you kind of figure out what your role is from time to time?
I mean, I just go out there and play. I don't know, like, every time I catch the ball, it's not really like my main focus, just go and score. Like, I know Mandel and John was spotting up on breaks a few times, and John was making a lot of shots in the first half, so, I mean, you just have to be unselfish. If someone is making shots, then you got to give them the ball, and they were just knocking down shots, and as long as they're making it, I'm happy, so I don't have nothing to say. So when I pass it to them, I have the confidence to pass it to them on a break instead of me going to do the shooting, and they just knocking shots down.
Brandon, how easy has the transition been with you and John kind of playing together? It seemed, you know, it's obviously working very well so far, and I mean, how impressed have you been just in what he's been able to do as a freshman in the first 5 games?
I just think it's just like basically the respect for each other. Just having that friendship when he first came in, just knowing like he just wants to win. So basically that's really it. Just is knowing him and just talking to him around, like not a selfish guy, and just want to go out there and just play his hardest. Really, that's what it's come down to.
Brandon, over the last 2 years, how would you rate your growth as a point guard in terms of recognizing when to shoot, when to give it up?
No, I mean it took time. I think right now as a senior is probably really my most like focused point and mind, knowing that like when to shoot the ball and things like that. I know like last year I probably forced a lot of shots and things like that, but bringing John in and having Mandel make shots and being that scorer for us as well, you know, just know that you don't have to do everything out there on the floor, and that makes me feel good. I used to feel like when I was a sophomore and junior and things like that I had to do everything, but now I just feel like things is just lifted off my shoulders and I can rely on other people.
Brandon, what does it mean to be a senior and win a rivalry game like this, that you beat these guys and you do it at their place? What does it mean to you?
It means a lot. Just knowing the history that was before me. I mean, this game has been going on way before my time and since I was born. So just knowing that we could just get a win on our belt from Manhattan, and at Manhattan and from Fordham, it's a good thing. And they beat us the last 2 years, so we just wanted to come in here and just play our hardest and get a win, and that's what happened.
Tom, following up on that, from a program standpoint, how big of a win is this? Maybe as big as the St. John's win your first year?
Yeah, I mean, you know what I liked about this game, and I talked to my assistants about it, it's a bunch of New York kids playing against each other. You know, when you look at both of our rosters, they're basically 75–80% New Yorkers. So the kids know each other, and that adds to it. It was like an old school. I was talking to Tommy Pecora before the game about when he was at Fordham and they played Manhattan. You know, a lot of guys from the Catholic League, a lot of guys from New York Public, but the guys who had played against each other summers and all of that. So in that sense, it was cool. Hey, it's a good win. It's a solid win. It's a non-conference win. It's a bigger win for us because we played poorly on Saturday against a good Sacred Heart team. And, you know, losing at home just makes me sick. So until we find another win, it would not have been a happy Thanksgiving. I would have smiled, put on a happy face, and made believe, but that's just coaching. You know, that's coaching. I mean, you know, you're just searching for the next one, and where are we going to get the next one? And we just got to get consistent now. You know, the effort that we put forth tonight for 40 minutes, if we do that consistently every night, we're gonna win some basketball games this year.
John, you come out with the big first half. I mean, as you've gone from game to game and kind of gotten acclimated a little bit, I mean, how much more comfortable do you feel? Is there a different feeling from when you made your debut and from each game on?
Not really. Like in practice, before practice, we watch film, and after practice, I shoot with one of the coaches. So, and then I watch film for the shots and like what I'm doing wrong and like when I'm not playing defense. So I just try to have a better game each game I play.
How would you describe your first Battle of the Bronx experience?
I'm kind of used to it from going to high school, playing against like Lockman and having a little rival. So I expected it was going to be a fight, battle.
Coach, I know it's early, but how do you like the progress of the zone? You played, obviously, the zone exclusively tonight.
Yeah,
So.
no, I mean, we gotta get better at it. It's early in the season, but it's a good weapon to have, and I think you're gonna see a lot more people playing it just because of this hand check rule too. So, you know, it's something we feel comfortable with. We obviously, our scouting reports dictate what we're gonna do defensively, but I was pleased with it tonight. Good, guys? Thank you very much. We appreciate everything. Have a nice Thanksgiving.